Hello everyone and welcome to another game of Squirrels Baseball. I am Aaron and we are taking on the Phillies at home. Recording later today, it is 8:13 as I sit here right at this moment. We had both of our girls had soccer games today, and we had an excessive heat warning, or however they phrase it these days, through both of them. So after we got back from those two, I was still recovering from being out in the heat that long. Until about now. Actually feel up to recording now. So we'll get this game in. It'll be done, I know. Well, it better be done well before midnight. So we'll get it in on the day it's supposed to happen. Stitch on the mound today. And here we go. Here's Shane Victorino to start things out. We swept the Phillies in their park. And I want to say we did it fairly decisively. I think the Pirates actually played us tougher than the Phillies did in that particular series. Then we came back home to repeat the Pirates and the Phillies. It's just been all Pennsylvania here. Pirates did take a game from us in the series we just got done with. They took the first game. So we'll see if the Phillies play any better on the road. Although the Pirates, like I said, even in their park, we did win all those games, but they were all very tough games. The Phillies, I feel like their pitching last time around wasn't that great. Let us come away with some easier wins than what we got in Pittsburgh and when Pittsburgh came here. Also, we are currently sitting on 99 wins. This would be win number 100. Shibuya came away with save number 50 yesterday. Still quite a bit off of his record, but, still a pretty darn good year. So let's get plugged into this game. Phillies are threatening. They've got 2 men on, but 2 outs. Kinsler swings and misses to strike out. Stitch gets out of the inning unscathed. So Kester is going to lead things off for the Squirrels. The Phillies, do believe have the same lineup that we have been seeing out of them. I am not sure which Sowers this is on the mound. See if I can. I'm guessing this is Jeremy Sowers. Looks like. He played for Cleveland in real life. I do vaguely remember this guy, mostly because he has the same last name as a guy I went to high school with, who was one of our big baseball players, also a very good soccer player, all that. It's the only reason he ever stood out to me. But he played 3 years for the Indians, 3 years, 06 to 09, whatever that is. And apparently now works for the Rays. So now the Squirrels got their first 2 men on. Runners on the corners with nobody out. Chief at the plate, who has already broken the single season record for doubles. And just keeps adding to it. There's a reason we call him the doubles machine. Has a 1-1 count in this at-bat. Pops this one up. Jeter is going to go back. And actually goes back deeper than I thought he'd have to, but not a productive out. Runner still on the corners for Terry. Now 1 away. First pitch is called a strike. And I think Terry just broke this game open already. Oh, off the wall. I thought it was gone, but the park just barely held it. So a bases clearing double, very close to a home run. Apparently we're not going to get a replay to see just how close that was to over the fence. Apparently hit it just a little bit too high. Frank with the line drive into the deepest part of the field. That's going to get over Roberts' head and roll all the way to that deep wall. He will stop at second, but it scores another run. The Squirrels now up 3-0. Tom at the plate, still only one out. And that pitch is outside. I should also mention that the Phillies, for the last couple days, have been tied with the Mets for the division lead in the East. So these are meaningful games as far as the playoffs are concerned. The NL East has the lowest win total for their division leaders at 61. So there's not going to be a wild card coming out of there. The Reds seem to have that one pretty well on lock. Zach, a fly ball into deep right center. Victorino catches up with it. That was a pretty good play, actually. So the Squirrels come away with 3 runs in the first inning. We go into the second, where Pudge Rodriguez will lead things off for Philadelphia. Stitch starts him off with a curveball for a strike over the inside corner. And that slider is too low. Swing and a miss, can't catch up to the fastball, makes it 1-2. A ground ball, Chief will grab that and throw to first, 1 away. That'll bring Dave Roberts to the plate. He's in much better shape than what we last saw him. He played the first 2 games injured with some kind of torn muscle. Now he's up to the red condition, which I think is the second best behind purple. He's the same as Marcus work phone, so you have to ask her what she's using for that. Otherwise, you have to take it out of the case and put it onto your magnetic thing. Sorry, my older daughter just got a phone for her birthday and was looking for a charger. All right, 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second, where Joey will lead off for the Squirrels. First pitch from Sowers is popped up. Pudge stands where the umpire usually goes and makes the catch. Stitch at the plate, hitting an even 200. Not too shabby. Right at the Mendoza line. There's a called strike, makes it 1-1. Popped up into left field. Roberts going over by the line, and he makes the catch. Hit a little bit deeper than I thought it was going to be, but it is still an out. Ground ball right over third base. All right, base hit out of Kester brings Marvin to the plate. They both had base hits to start off the game last inning. Both would eventually come around to score. Has an 0-2 count in this at-bat. Called strike 3, low in the zone, and that will end the second inning. All right, 3-0 as we go into the third. Sowers is due up to lead off, and I imagine he will hit a little early in the game to pull him. The game pronounced it Sowers. It was definitely Sowers in Covington, I can tell you that. He has a 2-1 count. He has for a pitcher, terrific batting numbers. 9 RBIs, a home run, hitting over 350. I don't know how many at-bats that is, but it's enough to have 9 RBI. Hits a ground ball to first here, and Terry will step on the bag. Victorino struck out in his first at-bat. One of 2 strikeouts for Stitch, the first time through the Phillies' order. Starts him off with a strike here. Swing and a miss will make it 0-2. Popped up. Tom goes into foul ground and makes the catch. 2 away. Derek Jeter got a base hit in his first at-bat. I'm trying to think. Did he get all the way to third, or did he stall out at second? I think he only got to second. Not 100% sure of that. So there was a lot going on as I was trying to record this game. He strikes out in this at-bat, though, and we will go to the bottom of the third inning. Still a 3-0 Squirrels lead, and we will be back to Chief to lead off the third. Chief popped out to Derek Jeter in the first inning in shallow left field. Fouls the first pitch straight back to the wall. And then hits this one foul down the first base side of the field. 0-2. This looks like a base hit. That's going to roll forever, all the way back to the 424 sign. Can't tell if that actually hit the wall or not, but it was very close. And as you can see, Chief just keeps adding on to his record. He can't help but hit doubles. Brings Terry to the plate. He very nearly hit a home run. Instead of a 3-run homer, it was a 2-run double. And then he would come around later to score when Frank hit his own double. Has a 1-2 count in this at-bat. Make it 2-2. That fastball's too low. Too low again. We got a full count. Chief, I imagine, will stay put. And Terry looks at strike 3. 1 down. Frank at the plate. As mentioned, he had an RBI double back in the first. Looks at strike 1 here. Swing and a miss. Makes it 0-2. This will not stay fair. I don't think it ever started fair, actually. Up the middle. That will get down for a base hit. Chief will stop at third. So that will leave runners on the corners for Tom. Only 1 out. Tom, I want to say, struck out, but I'm not. I do feel fairly confident at that. Hits the line drive right to Derek Jeter. Leaves the runners back on the corners. Zach at the plate probably needs a base hit now to score a run. And he will look at strike 1. Back towards the middle. Sowers gets a glove on it. And Kinsler's one to pick it up, and he gets it to first just in time. About a half step ahead of Zach. So that leaves the game still 3-0 as we go into the 4th inning. Travis Hafner will lead things off for the Phillies. He flew out in his first at-bat. Swings and misses at the first pitch here. Swing and a miss again. Makes it 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. All right. That brings Alex Rios to the plate. Got a base hit in his last at-bat. And looks like a base hit up the middle here. A 1-out single. That'll bring Ian Kinsler to the plate. He struck out in his first at-bat. Looks at strike 1. Runner takes off. There was a show of a bunt. And Rios is thrown out at second. Pitch was called a ball. That curveball, though, is called a strike. It's a 1-2 count. Base is now empty with 2 outs. And a called strike 3. That'll end the top of the 4th. Still a 3-0 Squirrels lead, and Joey will get into the box momentarily to start the bottom of the 4th. He fouled out in his first at-bat. And looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down. Stitch popped out in his first at-bat. Looks at strike 1. Was he the one that hit it out to left and it just kind of kept going? I can't remember now. Has a 1-2 count in this at-bat. And he will go down looking. 2 away. Kester 2 for 2 on the day. Looks at a strike. And that fastball's too high. It's a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss will make it 1-2. Ground ball to first. Hafner steps on the bag, and that will end the inning. We go to the 5th. Still 3-0. Pudge Rodriguez will start things off for the Phillies. He ground out in his first at bat. Looks at a strike here. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. And that's going to be a base hit into center field. Leadoff single will bring Dave Roberts to the plate. He fouled out in his first at bat. Looks at strike one on a fastball. Looks at a slider for strike two. Pops up a changeup. Joey will catch that right in front of second base. One down, runner still on first for Angel Chavez, who also fouled out. Looks at strike one. Swings and misses for strike two. And a line drive. Well, it's kind of a bloopy line drive. Oh, it turns into a double play. I think it was Pudge over there on first. It wandered too far off of first. Didn't think Joey had the range to get there, but he did. And he has quite the arm to pick him back off of first. So we'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Still 3-0 Squirrels. Marvin, who I don't think I've noted, is hitting right-handed so far today. Has an 0-2 count. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out in his last at-bat. Fouls this one off. He's still at an 0-2 count. Popped up. Hafner didn't have to move much. Makes the catch. That'll bring Chief to the plate. He doubled in his last at-bat. Hits a line drive into left. That'll get down for a base hit. Has to settle for a single this time. Terry, 1 for 2. Got a deep double and a strikeout so far. Chief takes off. Don't know what possessed him to do that, but he is thrown out. Not surprisingly, base is now empty with 2 outs. And Terry has a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss. He's well behind that fastball. She did chase a little bit. Hits this one up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Runner on first with 2 outs. Frank is 2 for 2. He's already got a double and a single. Looks at strike one. That pitch is too low. Swing and a miss will make it 1-2. And this is pulled foul. Still 1-2. Sowers starting to wipe his brow. But gets Frank to swing and miss. That'll end the 5th inning. We go into the 6th. Still a 3-0 game. Squirrels put a lot of runners on base, but they've not scored since the 1st inning. The Phillies are going to pinch hit for Sowers, so his day is done. Quiros is going to come in. We'll see. He has been taking over for short, and Jeter has then moved over to third. At least the game's in Philadelphia. We'll see how that works here. Quiros, though, looks at a ball. There's a called strike. This one bounces in. This one inside. We got a 3-1 count. There's a called strike. So the count is filled. And Quiros got a lot of that. Will it stay fair? It does not. So still a full count. Stitch goes with the fastball, and Quiros just plain whiffs. First out of the inning, his 6th strikeout of the day. Victorino looks at strike one. Looks at strike two. Slider, it is not in the zone. Victorino does not chase it. Another slider, this one in the zone, and gets a swing and a miss. 2 away, Derek Jeter to the plate. He is 1 for 2. He will swing and miss at a curveball. Swings and misses at a slider. And that curveball just misses outside. swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the top of the 6th. Still a 3-0 Squirrels lead. Tom is going to lead things off in the bottom half of the inning. Kiros does take over for Jeter, and it looks like Zagurski is just going to fill into Jeter's spot, I would assume. The game sometimes is a little sketchy about those double switches, but that one I think will play out as designed. Tom pops this one up into foul ground. Pudge makes the catch. Zach is 0 for 2 today. That slider is too far inside. Ground ball to third. Chavez over to first for the second out of the inning. And that will bring Joey to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He's fouled out and struck out. Hits this one a little bit of a high hop to third. Chavez no problem with it. So we'll go into the 7th inning. 3-0 Squirrels. Travis Hafner's going to lead things off. And Squirrels will make a pitching change just as soon as we're able. There we go. Get Johnston into Joey's spot. That will bring Phil into the game. Move him over to second.
Your attention, please. Now coming out of the pitch for Indianapolis. Number 27, Johnston.
All right, Hafner's 0 for 2 today. Johnston starts him off with the fastball for a strike. High fastball that's too high. Swing and a miss on all fastballs so far out of Johnston, which is a bit shocking. Another fastball. I feel like usually his fastball is kind of his changeup. Usually throws the big breaking pitches. But he gets Hafner to strike out on entirely fastballs. That'll bring Alex Rios to the plate. He's 2 for 2 on the day, though he was caught stealing after his last hit. He has an 0-2 count in this at-bat, and swings and misses at the sinker for his first retirement today. Kinsler has struck out in both at-bats so far today, as that slurve misses down by his feet. Pop straight back, and it does make the wall. 1-1. Swing and a miss makes it 1-2. Fastball called strike 3, and that will bring us to the 7th inning stretch. A 3-0 Squirrels lead, and Phil will lead things off after the break.
Now, please rise and join the singer.
All right. Phil, first at bat today, looks at strike 1. Ground ball right to short. Kiros takes care of that. 1 away. Kester is 2 for 3 on the day. First pitch, too low. Called strike. Up the middle, that'll get down for a base hit. A 1-out single brings Marvin to the plate. Got a hit in his first at bat. 1 for 3 on the day. Swings and misses. Still batting right-handed. Hits a ground ball. This looks like a double play. Oh, Kiros, though, a little slow to get it back to first, so Marvin will beat that out. Chief, 2 for 3. Looks at a strike. And Marvin steals second base. So a runner now in scoring position. Chief with an 0-2 count, though. And he smacks this one through the right side of the infield. Marvin's going to try to score, and he will. Makes it 4-0, and he will extend Johnson's time in this game. Terry, 2 out, runner on first. Came out of my mouth wrong. Has an 0-2 count. Hits this one right to Kinsler, who will toss to first, and that will end the 7th inning. But the Squirrels finally tack on that 4th run. So they've been threatening all day, but that's the first time they've scored since the 1st inning. Pudge Rodriguez leading things off in the 8th for the Phillies. First pitch, a fastball that's too low. Throws a sinker, also misses low. Tries it again. This time he gets a swing and a miss. Pops this one up. Will Tom make it there? He will not. Needed another step or two. 2-2 count then. Fastball gets a swing and a miss. 1 away. Dave Roberts, he's put the ball in the air both times he's been at bat, but they've both been very catchable. Puts this one on the ground. Chief still makes it a routine play. 2 down. Angel Chavez also has popped out in both at-bats. Looks at a strike. Little pop to Phil, who makes the grab. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 4-0 Squirrels now, and Frank will lead things off. Zagorski's still on the mound. Frank is 2 for 3, though he did strike out in his last at-bat. Looks at strike 1 here. This will hook foul. 0-2. High hop, but it will be foul. Ooh, will Roberts get to this one? He won't. It's going to fall in front of him. Quiros didn't even make a chase for it. Might have been out of his reach, but would have liked to have seen him at least run after it. Tom 0 for 3 on the day. Watches that pitch miss down and away. That slider called a strike. Hits this one. An easy play for Zagorski, just barely off the rubber. Uh-oh. Frank hurt himself sliding back into first after that pop-up. So we were going to change players anyway, but now we're being forced to. So we'll get Quentin to come in and take over in left. So I have to double check on Frank after this game. 1 on, 1 out. Zach at the plate, looks at strike 1. Little bloop that's going to get over Hafner's head and into right field. Quentin makes his way to third, puts runners on the corners. Ooh, not for Johnston. Well, let's go Miyake. All right, runners on the corners with 1 out for Miyake. First pitch called a strike. Wasn't over the moon about that call. That one's outside. 1-1. There's a called strike, makes it 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down, Phil at the plate. First pitch is called a strike. Sikorsky, I'm sure, just trying to get out of this inning. Philly's hoping not to have to use any more arms. Phil's going to ground out to second. And this might make the defense a little iffy. Quiros is going to lead things off in the 9th. The Phillies need 4 runs. Put Zap in. Where do we want to put him in at? Guess we'll stick him into Zach's spot. Miyake can play right. That's fine. I mean, it's fairly clean. Miyake's it's not technically rated for right field, but he is a good center fielder, so he ought to be able to figure out right field just fine. And, maybe Zap will make sure we don't have to find out. Hero struck out in his first at-bat. This is his second one of the day. He came in the game later. Swings and misses at the first pitch. That fastball a bit high. Might have sailed on Zap a little bit. Throws a breaking ball that gets a solid line drive into right center. Looks like Marvin's going to get to that first, but that's a leadoff double. Thankfully for Zap, that run doesn't mean a whole lot. But if you're the Phillies, you got to score 1 before you score 4, because, you know, that's how numbers work. Shane Victorino at the plate. I do not believe he has a hit today. No. Jeter got the first hit in the first inning. Anyway, swing and a miss makes it 0-2. Oh, that actually gets through the right side of the infield. Quiros will not try to score. Runners on the corners with nobody out. So this is starting to get a little more serious. And here comes Pat Burrell in to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot. So Zap could really use an out here. Starts him off with a fastball for a strike. And Burrell's going to drive in at least 1 run. Rolls a long way. Throw coming back in, and they're going to try to score 2, and I think we're going to have to go get Shibuya. We'll leave it alone for now, I guess. Give Zap a chance to get out of this, but he's not retired anybody. I guess best I can say is if it weren't a video game, I'd probably be going to get Shibuya. But we're just, because we've got the record we do, we're going to let Zap try to get out of this. He does strike out Travis Hafner. That's the first out of the inning. Alex Rios struck out in his last at-bat. Got a hit in every other at-bat today. Swings and misses at a changeup. Fouls this one away to make it an 0-2 count. Swings and misses at a fastball. Zap now 1 out away from getting out of this inning and out of this game. Ian Kinsler looks at a strike and takes a look at the umpire. I don't blame him. A ground ball to short. Kester to first. And that is your ball game. Final score, Philadelphia Phillies 2, Indianapolis Squirrels 4. Got a little dicey there at the end, but the Squirrels come away with their 100th win of the season. Oh, you finally get to see how close this was to a home run. Oh boy, I think that hit off that gold stripe at the top of the wall. It did not miss by much. And yeah, Zappa didn't have the greatest 9th inning, but he did enough. Terry's going to be your player of the game for that near home run. Thank you everybody for watching. If you'd like to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, feel very free. Otherwise, we've got the Phillies again tomorrow. We will see you then.